Welcome to the One for the Road post-screening conversation. My name is Dilcy Barrera. I'm a programmer for the festival, and I'm so thankful you have joined us. Before we begin, I would like to remind you that the chat feature on the platform is now active. And on the right side of the screen below the video, you can find an area where you can submit your questions for the film team. Please, I encourage you all to send us your questions. And I'd like to thank everyone for fostering conversations that are both welcoming and abide to our community agreement. And tonight is definitely a special night because we're joined by Baz Pumpiraya, the director of One for the Road. Hi, Baz, how are you? Can you guys? Firstly, hi. Hi. Firstly,
with our team in Bangkok, Thailand.
I want to kick it off first by asking where you're calling in from, and also if you can introduce who's with you tonight.
Okay, sure. We calling in from Bangkok, Thailand, and with me tonight, Miss Prim, Violet Vautier.
Yes, I'm Violet Vautier playing as Prim. I'm Ploy Hoang, playing as Alice. I'm Robert Shimon playing Luna.
Yes, Tajanapur play as boss. I'm Ice Natara, I'm playing Ud. Yeah.
I'm Kai Notapon, I'm the co-director and scriptwriter.
Amazing. I know we're in a virtual setting, but I wanted to let you know that the chat is sending so much love, so many messages saying that they really love the film and incredible and how much they are enjoying tonight. But I wanted to kick off the conversation with, One for the Road is a romantic film. It's a nostalgic film. It's also a road trip film and a friendship film. Can Baz and Nadapan, can you please take us back to when you started talking about this story? Where did this story come from? And what were some of the themes you were interested in exploring?
Actually, it comes from a really easy premise from our producer. After we developed, we decided to work together, and he decided to be my producer, and we developed another story together for, I would say, like 9 months, and then he decided and then one day he told me that, well, you know what, but I don't think you did the story, so we should start here. And you should start from something that you really believe in. So the question is that, who are you? And what do you want to do if you have like less time left in this earth? So that's the question that I take in mind, and I start to develop this story from the north.
Do you have something to add, Nadapan?
Yeah, so I'm joining in the project after Baz start writing for about 1.5 years, I think, and when he start to develop the idea of this personal film in a way, I'm coming to play a role to weigh him as an outsider, to look into his life story and develop the script and structure from that point.
Wonderful. And of course, the cast is so brilliant and charming. Baz, can you talk us through how you found the cast? Were there some people in mind when you were writing the film, or is this something that came later?
Actually, I think it's pretty normal for director or scriptwriter to have some actor or actress in mind when they wrote the script. And for my part of film, sometimes like those actors like came to play the role too. But I would say like for this film, like everybody here is totally out of spec for me to like. I have like another actor or actress in mind, but and then this guy came and do the casting here, and then I just know that you were born for this role.
And for the cast, what were some of your reactions when you first read the script? Is there anything in particular that moved you or made you think that this is a project you wanted to be part of?
I think I don't even need to read the script, to be honest, because I just saw the name of the director and the name of the producer. I just all in, Shut up. It's really so. But when I went to audition the part and I read the script to audition for Bass, I think it's very related and feeling connected to the material. So I just want to be a part, and I just beg him, please, I can do this role. yes.
Anyone else want to add their first reaction?
อันนี้คือถามอะไรนะขออีกที
อ๋อก็คืออันนี้ขออนุญาตเป็นภาษาไทยก่อนจะแปลก็ตอนแรกที่ได้อ่านบทก็รู้สึกว่าจริงๆมันน่าสนใจมากแต่มันก็ไกลตัวจริงผมเหมือนกันแล้วก็ตอนแรกที่ได้มาแคสกับพี่บาสผู้กำกับนะก็ตอนแรกก็ไม่ได้มั่นใจขนาดนั้นแต่สุดท้ายพอตอนที่วันที่เรารู้ว่าแคสได้ผมก็แค่เต็มที่กับมันเพราะว่าจริงๆบทหนังเรื่องนี้เป็นบทที่ผมอ่านแล้วผมรู้สึกว่าเป็นอย่างที่พี่ไอพูดว่าผมแบบรีเลทตามได้ด้วยแล้วก็รู้สึกว่ามันดีฮะประมาณนั้นครับ
When he first read the script, he thought it was out of his character. This is not something that he is in real life. But then he went to the audition and he didn't expect to get it, but then he got the part and then he was excited. And as he read more and more into the script, he can feel related to the story, to the character. And it feels really good to be part of the project.
How about Violet?
Yeah, I was the last one to join the crew, the cast. It was a very last minute, and thank you for picking me. I actually did a casting for your role as well, and I didn't get for Alice, but then somehow I landed the Prim part, and it was a very big opportunity for me, and I'm so grateful because when I read through the script, I cried the whole time because the story like really moves me, and it's such a beautiful story that you guys work on. So I'm really glad to be a part of this project.
Yes, please. I would love to hear. Yes.
For me, it's something very new because I never starred in any movie or acting, or it's very new for me. So once I get the part or went to read through with Bass, and I know that the project was the producer or Bass, I was so excited and so nervous because it's very new and it's and with all the cast here, they're also professional, and I'm just, oh my god, just nervous.
Don't say that.
But yeah,
You are really good.
I'm so nervous though, but it's true, and it's an honor to be part of this group, this movie, because the script was really, really good. Just to be in the part, like a little second in the movie, I'm okay. I'm happy.
You did wonderfully. And yes, please.
ขอเป็นภาษาไทยนะคะก็หอแบบคือออกแบบเคยทำงานกับพี่บาสมาก่อนแล้วก็รู้สึกว่าการที่รู้สึกเป็นเกียรติมากกับการที่ได้กลับมาทำงานอีกครั้งนึงค่ะเพราะว่าเป็นการรอคอย ก็ตอบเสียทันทีเมื่อได้รู้ว่าจะได้รับบท
He used to work with Bass before in his previous film, and it feels like an honor to be back to be in his movie again.
Wonderful. There's something else that really captured my eye when I was watching this film. The cinematography of the film is so luscious. It's so vivid and aligns with so many sentiments in the story. Can Baz, maybe you can walk us through your collaboration with your cinematographer in terms of the vision?
Actually, the cinematographer, his name is we call him P.N. in Thai, and I work with him, I would say, for almost 10 years now, in film or like commercial or music video. So we pretty much like partner in class in terms of working in the movie. And I think our like process when I was working with him is that we just go on scouting the location together, and we pick out the location together, and that's it. We never do a workshop. We never do the shooting board. We never do a storyboard. We just went there on the shooting day, just feel everything, feel what we have around us, and just go for it. That I would say that our method in working in our collaboration.
Wow, so beautiful. And then in terms of continuing on with collaboration, the film took us to various parts of the world and all over Thailand. How important was it to include and showcase Thailand and Thai culture in the story for you?
Well, I think like it's very important. Like Thailand and New York also. But I think actually like this both countries, which I live in Thailand for almost like the rest of my life, and in New York for 5 years, which I'm really like, attached to. So to me, these two people was like one of the characters to me. So I try to look through my feeling that I have in these two cities.
Yeah. So we have a very active chat going on with many questions, and I want to make sure that I have time to ask some of the questions. But definitely people are asking about the collaboration with Wong Kar-wai. How did that come along, and how can you please speak about your experiences with working with him?
Yes, sure. Actually, I started at around the end of 2017, and with the Wong got a chance to see my previous film, Latinx, and luckily he liked it enough to call me to meet him in Hong Kong, and he offered me a job to the opportunity to work on the new film that he will be a producer, which I say yes right away, and and after that, I felt like I going back to be a student again, just watch him like work, just hear his thought on the script, on everything that he tried to teach me throughout the process. I just feel that I'm just so lucky to have him as my mentor, because everybody here in Thailand, in all the Asian community, we are really look up to him, and he had a big influence in terms of cinema. So yeah, I'm really honored to be part of his process.
Yeah, very special. There's a question from the audience, by the way. Everyone keeps writing how they're blown away by the film, and their tears, and they've cried. So I'm sure our audience was very moved by the movie. There's a question from Advia in the chat. They really enjoyed the music choices for the film, and how did you value music in your movies? And then Kaylee asks if there will be a playlist on Spotify.
Somehow it's funny that everybody keeps like asking me that, why, how do you know this song? Because it's very it's in the 70s and the 80s, and because I'm just old enough to know them. And yeah, I grew up with this song, when I listened to the radio station, or maybe I heard like some of the songs from the movie that I used to watch. So it's part of my memory. It's part of who I am. So it's not that hard to pick them up and use them in the movie.
They worked really well, and the audience is definitely responding to it. Another theme that the chat keeps talking about is cocktails. Benjamin asks whether it's through a cocktail or through a pop song. The film does a great job at triggering vivid memories that serve as a catalyst for forgiveness. What did you ultimately want to say about memories and forgiveness with your film?
It's very hard for me to say it out loud. I mean, I believe I want to believe that I say everything through the film already. And like I said, this film is very special to me, because when we did that like that, we don't even know it's going to work out, because all the story is from mostly from the statement of my life through the new interpretation. So I don't know if it's gonna work with another people or not, but I just look at the film. It's like Mr. Wong said that this is the last chance that you can do the film. What will you do? So I would say the film is like it's my personal message to to everybody that I know, to all my ex-girlfriend that I follow my memory with them, like to do that this film and a lot of stuff that I never told them, that I never get a chance to say with them. This is my fantasy world to say that out loud to you.
It's a beautiful fantasy. So Bridger from the chat asks, or they say that they absolutely love the film. There was such great chemistry between all the characters, so congratulations. Was any of the dialogue improvised?
Oh, a lot.
But also there's guidelines to it, and there's some scenes where Vivas just like let us improvise. He has an idea like, okay, I want it to go this way, but whatever you want to say, just say however you feel. So we did that for some of the scenes, not every scene though.
And some scene, it's not even in the script, he just built the new whole scene for us to improvise, so it's very challenging for me as an actor, and I love that. True. No, I love your way of working.
Oh, thank you.
Concept, yes.
It looks like you want to say something.
I could elaborate a little bit on the writing part. I think this film, we have like 3 parts of writing. So the script writing and then the shooting. We write while shooting as an improvisation, and also editing part. Bas also write he tried to restructure a film and also write a new part and add in and reshoot it, and so it's kind of like a never-ending writing for Bas. Is that right?
Wonderful. Well, and I wanted to follow up with that question about chemistry, because the characters have to be so close. You're playing lovers and best friends. What type of exercises did you guys go through or practice, or what type of interactions did you have before getting on set?
Oh, we did some workshops and we, I don't know, what did we do?
There's a lot.
Yeah. We did some workshop, and I think the chemistry.
Chemistry.
So we have a quite intense workshop with the
Yeah.
actors, and also the acting coach also asks the actors to write a personal memoir of their lives and try to express their feelings towards other characters through like an interview sometimes, and also some imagination scenes that made up in the workshop.
Yeah, everyone here is very sensitive in a way. Anyway,
Yeah.
so it's quite easy to get involved with the character and get into it with the character. So I think everyone here is very sensitive.
I think
Even the director is sensitive.
I think it's kind of real to us because when we went to New York to shoot the film, and we spent a lot of time together, like running around and have fun. And I remember we celebrate the New Year together through the shooting.
And Christmas.
Yeah, and Christmas. And so I think it's feel real to us, as a friend. And so I think we bring this kind of feeling to the film.
It seems like you guys traveled and shot in so many places. Is there a favorite place where you guys liked shooting or enjoyed shooting the most?
Yeah, probably New York.
Probably New York because it's far from home, so I think New York is what I feel like.
Yeah, mine is New York too, because it's there's a lot of changing of environment, because it's not the same from Thailand. But also I really like the scenes from Thailand, because I get to play with my friend here. Like, okay, me and Paul. Why are you smirking like that? Okay, anyway, me and Paul, we actually played together before. in a like 5 years ago in a Thailand series.
Yes, 5
So
years ago.
we were actually already friends, like a good friends before we started shooting. So when I knew I had to play with him, I was like super comfortable with him.
Yes, I'm comfortable to play with you too.
That doesn't sound forced at all.
That's amazing. I have one more question from Lisa. Were there any major changes to the script that had to be made while filming? How about related to the pandemic, or was this shot before then?
I think in the script it's not that much. You're talking about the pandemic, but in terms of the production, when actually we have when we go shop in New York in the late 2019, right before the pandemic happened, and we planning to go back to New York in March, like for the winter season, and then with the COVID, everything that happened, so we cannot go there. So we have to change the plan. We have to build the whole set here in Thailand to let the real set that we already shoot over there in New York. So yeah, it's kind of like challenging in terms of art production and production design. They have to work really hard to make it happen here.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of questions in the chat about the ending. So do you want to maybe go into your creative choices related to the ending? I see you nodding your head.
Guy, do you want to say something?
Please ask.
Oh, okay. I mean, like, what? Okay, the question. The ending, right?
Yeah, your creative related to the ending.
We are not supposed to spoil, no?
Yeah, it's really
to me, it just comes really natural because like all the script is really clear on the ending. But when we shot it, somehow to me it felt that it can be from like an audience perspective about their interpretation about what really happened and what the finished life of each character.
wonderful. I just wanted to read this comment from Claire. She says, this film was so beautiful. It makes me miss Asia so much. I want to drive around Thailand in a beautiful classic car now. It's gorgeous.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much, Claire.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It really feels so special, and I feel so honored that I get to speak to you from across the world. And so thank you for taking the time to chatting with us. This movie is so special to us, and we're very grateful that you're here with us today. So I would like to close this conversation, but just by thanking the One for the Road film team for joining us. I'd like to thank the tech team, my colleague John Nine, and thank you guys, the Sundance audience, for tuning in. But please don't forget that for pass holders, everyone's invited to head over to Film Party in New Frontier to celebrate the premiere. Good night, everyone.
Thank you so much.